Good evening, how are you doing?
Hey.
Okay, good. So, over the course of my life, I have been mugged 9 times. Which is quite a lot. I know it's quite a lot. To put it into a bit of context, I've had more muggers than I've had sexual partners. And in quite a lot of the cases, like, the muggings have been less humiliating than it certainly lasted longer, most of them anyway. So yeah, sometimes I wonder why I've been mugged so many times, you know. It might surprise you to know that I'm not from a tough area, I'm not from the ghetto. I'm from Headingley, a leafy middle-class suburb in North Leeds. I mean, Headingley is, you know, it's home to an institutionally racist cricket club, which is about as fucking middle-class as you can get. So yeah, I'm from Headingley, and I've been mugged loads of times. I think it's probably because I'm tall, you know, I'm a tall guy, so I'm probably seen as fair game. I'm 6'4", but tall, so fair game, but obviously not very good at fighting. You know, I'm rake thin, I've got like quite small hands for a tall man, so I'm obviously not going to fight back. So I'm not going to talk about all 8 muggings, because this is the first time I've tried this and it might be a fucking bleak subject matter. So we'll see how this goes. And it also might drag on a bit. So I'm going to talk about my least favourite 3 muggings. Going from a countdown from 3 to 1. Okay? So coming in at number 3, my 3rd least favourite mugging of all time. This was what I'll call the nightclub mugging. So at the time I was 18, I was going through a short-lived phase of pretending to like house music and taking pills at the weekend. So we bought our pills from a man in a Berghaus jacket at the Three Horseshoes pub, and his quality was very varied. Some weeks it might be reasonable pills, other weeks it might be paracetamol. He once sold me 3 Smints. Had the best breath. Right. So on this particular night, a couple of friends and I had gone to a club in town and we'd taken some pills which were, by chance, reasonably good. We were out in the smoking area. So when I went on these nights, I couldn't really dance, I just didn't really get the music. So all I wanted to do was go out into the smoking area, tell my friends how much I love them, shower each other with praise, and then have a fucking enormous sinking feeling the next day and never want to see them again. So on this occasion, my friend and I are out in the smoking area, hugging each other, loving each other, all the rest of it, coming up from pills. And then some lads approached. And I thought initially, these guys they're just wanting to do that usual shit talking that you do in smoking areas of pill clubs. And I was well up for entertaining that. They were not though. They wanted to fucking steal our phones. So like, yo lads, let's make a call inside. Oh dear. Are you going to make a call and give it back? I doubt that. But it seems I was loved up and on pills and thought, yeah, maybe they are nice guys. My friend was trying to hug our muggers and tell me what nice guys they were. So it's like, yeah, how do these guys sound? It's like, no, they're not. They're fucking trying to steal our phones. So yeah, I reluctantly, well, very meekly, in fact, ended up handing over my phone to this lad in a hood. And then just watched as he like put it in his pocket. Didn't even make a call, didn't even pretend from that point. Put it in his pocket and just fucked off inside into the club. And what I should have done here is go home and just call this one a loss. Instead, I had a plan. I went and told the bouncer. And he just looked at me and laughed in my face. But unperturbed by this kind of humiliation, and instead of sort of just calling it a night, I decided to stay in the club for the next like 4 to 5 hours, just brushing shoulders with this lad who definitely had my phone in his pocket. So what am I doing? So that was number 3, the nightclub mugging. Coming in at number 2 was the stubby beer mugging, which happened a few years later. I was like 20, 21. I'd gone to university by now. I was a cool, cultured man. I had an opinion on like the political situation in Israel. And a Carhartt t-shirt. I was covering all bases. So I thought I was moving up in the world. I was going out to my friend's house and I went to Safeway, the now defunct Safeway, and picked up a crate of Bière de France stubby beers. I was walking around in my Carhartt t-shirt with all my brilliant opinions, just walking along. And then a bunch of lads approached. bunch of tough, okay, now I'm going to tell the truth, a bunch of like 13-year-olds. He's like, oi, mister! And it's one of those where you can like foresee the future and you just know you're going to have a really shit few minutes. I was like, for fuck's sake. Yes lads, yeah, how can I help? Give us a beer blood. Really? It's okay, let's give these nice chaps a beer each. It's 13-year-old shit. So I handed them a beer, and then one of them just called me a cunt and grabbed the full cunt. Really? And I just walked off thinking, that was bad, wasn't it? I might not tell anyone about that ever until perhaps 15 years later when they told me. And then it got worse, like one of them was shouting out, yo mister, have you got a bottle opener? And I did, I had a bottle opener. It was in the shape of a bike on my keyring, because I like cycling. And I went back and just fucking opened beers for these 13-year-old tormentors. And as I was walking off, one of them just like lobbed a bottle at my back, just to find an insult. So that was my second least favourite mugging. But nothing compares to, sorry, am I dragging how long have I got? The last one, my least favourite mugging of all time, which was the most humiliating few minutes of my entire life. I'll call this one the kiss. So at the time I was about 16, so I was a little bit younger. And I was actually going through a bit of a purple patch in life. I had like a reasonably nice girlfriend, played Sunday league football, I was in a band, albeit a fucking shit one. I was in a band, I thought it was quite cool. I think the only blotch on my record at that point was that I was quite a big fan of the Lost Prophets. Ooh. So, apart from that though, life was good, things were going well. So I met my girlfriend and a few mates, and it was a Friday night, we went to Safeway is getting a lot of mentions in this past. We went to Safeway and bought a few bottles of Lamborghini with the intention of going and drinking in the park. Classic Friday night stuff. As we got our bottles, we were walking up to Beckett's Park, and then a notorious gang of lads who used to roam around North Leeds just being complete shits, just mugging people, taking the piss out of them, fighting and all the rest of it. They approached us and was like, oh, for fuck's sake. And so they just shouted, oh yeah, lads, wait a minute. And it was the usual shit, you know, let us borrow your phone, blah, blah, blah. And he asked me to build him a spliff. And I was like, I don't know how to do that. Even if I did, I don't have the tools at my disposal. So he said, all right, give us your phone. I was like, I'd really rather not. It's a Nokia 3210. I've got an excellent score. I'd really rather not. But he wasn't having it. So he was really harassing me. But then, after I kind of put a little, it was that thing where you stood around and you're thinking, are any of my mates going to step in here and help? And you sort of look around and think, no, absolutely not. We're all just going to stand here and do fuck all. But then he gave me a third option. He said, you can walk away with your phone and your wallet if you kiss your friend. I was like, oh man, come on. This is around, a bit of context, this was around the time that the American Pie films were big. And there's that scene where like the lesbian couple say that they'll kiss each other, the boys kiss each other. A scene which hasn't aged very well actually. But at the time, our tormentors, these fucking hoodlums, were apparently quite au fait with popular culture. Use this American Pie scene to influence my humiliation. So instead of giving them my phone, I said, fine, I'll kiss my friend. And they decided, so I call them long face, they call me, I can't think why. So long face, come on, and my friend who had quite spiky hair, they called him Spike. Long face, kiss Spike. And we kind of pushed our faces together and we kind of pecked. This was my girlfriend there, by the way, just let me fucking kiss my girlfriend, man. But yeah, so we kind of pecked, closed eyes, and it's like, oh man. And I just felt really, really sad, really sad after that. And my girlfriend left me shortly after that. I don't know. But anyway, so this has been a rather bleak subject matter, but there is a happy ending to it. So, a few years after this, after the kiss, this humiliation, the lowest point of my young life, I got a job. I don't know if this should Sounds like a classic happy ending, but I got a job at Subway sandwich shop. Woo! It was like moving up in the world. And this is, I'm not lying here, this is all completely true. Who should be my manager showing me the ropes on my first shift at Subway? The ringleader of the gang who made me kiss my friend. I can't get rid of this guy. He's now my fucking line manager. To be fair, he's actually pretty good at making sandwiches. I'll give him that one, he was quite good at it. He was a reasonable line manager. But it was one of those, like, neither of us mentioned this, that all the shit he put me through those years ago. We both knew, obviously we both knew, but we didn't mention it. And we just kind of we actually got on, like, all right. Perhaps he was a reformed character. Or so I thought. At the end of one shift, a few months in, I just saw him, like, we closed up the shop, and I saw him just opening the till and just blatantly robbing from the till, just stuffing. I was like, oh, right, okay. Getting the line manager job at Subway hasn't changed this time. And he clocked me seeing him. I was like, oh God, what's he going to do? Is he going to make me fucking kiss a sandwich or something? What's he going to make me do? But he didn't. He said, oh, do you want 20 quid on me? Yes, all right. There we go. So he gave me £20. I thought about this. I thought, what is this? Is the guy? Is it hush money? Is he guilty? Is it remorse after all these years? I don't know. Whatever it was, but I got 20 quid off him, and all he got from me was my dignity. So I think that's it. Cheers.